Select by Attributes is an ArcGIS Pro function that lets you select features on the map by querying the attributes of a particular feature class. In this example, we're going to be looking for underground transformers across the entire map. So I have it zoomed out pretty far, and we're looking at the center of the city basically. It's not the entire map, however. One thing you might notice too is that there isn't any transformers currently visible on the map. That's because there's a visibility range set, and it needs to be cleared out to make it easier to see what the selection ends up being once we've done the query. So let's take out that visibility range. To do that, you right-click on the layer and then select Properties. And then under the General option, we've got our visibility range section here, and I'm just going to change the Out Beyond to None. So that will show everything. And so now we've got transformers and a bunch of other bank-related features being displayed. So let's now go ahead and do Select by Attributes. So to do that, we're going to click on the Select by Attributes button, and that's under the Map tab. So I'm clicking on that. And I already had the bank layer selected, but if I wanted to, I could change that here. So we'll just leave that the same. The selection type is New Selection, so that means that any existing selection that was there will be cleared out, and this query that gets performed will then be the new selection after it completes. So in order to tell it exactly what we want to select, we're going to click on this Add Clause button. So I click on that, and I just changed this Where clause here to indicate what it is that I'm looking for. So I'm going to hit the drop down, and this is going to show us all the different attribute fields that we have available to us for querying. So pretty much anything that's associated to a feature can be queried on. And so in order for it to look for the underground transformers, we're going to select the asset group field, and then we're going to say is equal to, and there's some other options there that you can explore. And then we're going to get to this drop down, which has all the different specific types of features. And so from here, I'm going to say underground transformer bank, and then I'll say add. So this now has completed that clause that's going to tell it what exactly to find on the map. So all I need to do now is just go to the bottom and click on Run, and it's going to go and then highlight. You can see the blue highlights there, all the underground transformers on the map. If I go and click on the Attributes button here, you can see that it selected 390 transformers in the entire map. And so let's say that, I really didn't want all of those. I really wanted to look for a particular district and just get the underground transformers there. So I can just go right back to where I started here and add a second clause. So the first one's still there, which was the asset group is equal to 13, which is the underground transformer bank. And now I'm going to add a second part of it. So if I wanted to include both queries, both criteria in the end result, then I'll have it have this AND option. So we'll have that say and then I'm going to change this to the district field. So now I'm going to say is equal to, and I'm going to select district 31. And so I'm going to say add. And so now you see we've got both of them there where the asset group is equal to 13, or underground transformer bank, and the district is equal to 31. So now I'm going to go ahead and run that. And this time it says that it found 29 underground transformers, but we don't see any of those on the map here. And the reason is that these are actually in a part of the map that isn't currently visible. So to find those very quickly and easily, we can just right-click on one of the selected transformers and say Pan to. So that's going to shift the map to that place on the map where that particular feature is at. It's going to keep the zoom level the same. So I can also use another option called Zoom to. So if I select Zoom to on the one right beneath the one we selected there, so now it actually is going to zoom in, and it's going to find that particular feature. And so anytime you use zoom, it's going to zoom in to some degree. Pan is just going to keep the zoom level the same and just move to that portion of the map. So if I keep on zooming, I can zoom in to another one here, or even I can zoom in on the same one multiple times. It's just going to get closer and closer on the map. So another thing we can do, sometimes these criteria get a little bit complicated, and if they do, you can actually save those and reuse them later on. So I'm going to go ahead and say save on this query, and it's going to say, where do you want to save that to? I'm going to go to my C drive, and I'm going to go into this folder, and I'm going to say underground transformers for district 31. And then I'll just click on save. And so if I clear this out and then go back to select by attributes, so right now you can see I don't have any criteria here listed. Now I can just go back in and say load and then select my query before that I saved, and it just fills those in automatically, and I can go ahead and run that, and it'd be just like I'd entered that in from scratch. So another final thing to do here is anytime that you've changed the visibility range on a particular layer, you probably want to change that back. So what I'm going to do here is right click on the bank again and go to properties, and I'm already on the right section here, so I'm just going to change the out beyond back to what it was, which was 5,000, and then I'll say OK. And that's just to help make it so that the map isn't cluttered, because you might want to keep some of the options features limited to when you're zoomed in more.